Just that I would go live for the first time ever. Tried once before when we had our garden swap, but with the weather and the location, the reception wasn't good. So we'll give this another try. So I'm just going to hang out for a little bit, see if anybody pops in. Enjoying my beverage for the evening. Oh, goodness. So while I'm talking to myself here, because I know there will be replays, I just figured I would do this every once in a while to try to do a little bit of content that isn't focused on our home loss and rebuilding, and to kind of answer any questions that somebody might have about, any kind of prepping or homesteading related stuff, what my background is. So I see somebody's in there. If you can give me a 5x5 or let me know if you can hear me, that would be great. Hi, Demon Bro. Behave yourself, okay? So, Demon Bro's my son. So, hey, Chuck, how you doing? So if anybody has any questions, type them in the chat, except for Demon Bro. He can ask me things anytime. So, but anyway, so, there's really no updates with the house. We're still waiting for insurance companies and lawyers and all that stuff. No date set for my surgery yet. They're still working on insurance approvals. So as far as I'm concerned, insurance companies are the devil. But today's been okay, Tuck. I've been in the AC most of the day. Actually, that's been the way it's been most of the month. I have POTS syndrome, so the heat can actually literally knock me out. Hi, Coffee. How are you? Oops, good to see you. So the heat makes my blood pressure drop, and I can pass out really easily. So, my main thing is to stay hydrated, stay caffeinated, and hi, Coffee. Demon Bro, watch yourself. For anybody who just popped in, Demon Bro's my son, so he needs to behave himself and not make me too self-conscious, if you will. Behave yourself. Say hi, Roll. How are you? So anyway, so if anybody has any questions for me, about anything, homesteading, prepping, prep steading, what's for dinner, Coffee? Nice try. I'm here to answer anything. And if you guys have any tips you want to throw out there for anybody too, that would be great. I'd love to have them. So I'll say hi, Hafsa. Hi, Greenleaf. How are you? Yes, I'm married. Very happily married. Going on 13 years now. Hi, Heaven's Fire. Good to see you. I wasn't sure if anybody would even get a notification, so this is awesome. It's good to see all of you guys. So. Hi, Rumi. Nice to meet you. Mechanical engineering. Mustafa. So, the weather lately has really sucked. Hi, Elena. Hi, Moonsprout. Good to see you. How does one keep cool in the heat in a SHTF no power situation? Okay, great question. And this is one that I've given a lot of thought to with my medical condition. So water, 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 not just for hydrating, but for evaporative cooling. You can, you know, dabbing water and letting that evaporate off yourself is a big one. Soaking. Hey, JS Genesis, good to see you. Business Fish, how you doing? Hey, Hudson Valley, glad you made it. Did you get the storms yet over there, or have they held off? Our local races were canceled, but it doesn't look like anything's popping off yet. But anyway, so you know, the more you can get yourself in water or spritz yourself with water, let that evaporate. Lots of shade, lots of rest. That's all helpful. Those cooling towels that you can like soak in cold water and put around your neck, or if you can put any kind of cold anything like in the veins on your neck or in your armpits or on the back of your behind your knees. That's where a lot of your blood goes through, and if you can cool down your blood, you can cool down yourself pretty well. Also, if you have a generator or solar generator enough to run a small AC or evaporative cooler, then and like even cool down a small area or run a car's AC, if that's possible, great way to go. Cooling blankets are great. My husband and I were actually both under ours as well. Hey, Teresa. You know, that's the best way to go. Did I miss any? Did I miss any questions? What's for dinner, Hudson? And coffee. You're cooking. What's for dinner? We just threw some frozen burgers on the grill. I couldn't stand with beef sandwiches with homemade French fries. Awesome. Buy a cast net if you live near productive waters, and we do. Tuck. We actually have a river right across the road from us, basically, and we have a great reservoir not too far from here. There's actually 3 rivers that come into our town and meet. So we do have a lot of great clean water so far. And yes, Teresa, thank you. And actually, Teresa, I thought I did this before, but now you have a blue wrench. So yeah, we do have a lot of water here. It's not something that we have a shortage of in our area, so we should be able to stay cool and stay in fish, unless of course our water gets polluted or they dam up the rivers. So anything else? Anyone else? How are you guys keeping cool in all this? This weather just sucks. And I know they're trying to talk about, hey, Texas Raider. Scott, good to see you. No news, Scott. Just nothing from anyone. It's Cayman Jack margaritas. They are my favorite. If I can't go to a restaurant and get a great margarita, this is the way to go because I'm too lazy to make my own. So these are really good. But yeah, this heat, they're saying it's record-breaking heat and this and that. It's really not. We had a couple of years that were cooler than average, and so now they try to make it, like this is some great big deal. It sucks and it's oppressive, but it's nothing new. It is what it is, and we just have to learn to deal with it and harden ourselves off a little bit, which is really hard for me with pot syndrome. So hey, God's prepared warrior. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So exactly, coffee, and we all lived through it and made it out alive. So it is cyclical, Moonsprout. Exactly. So don't believe all the hype. Yes, I bitch about it. And I think I'm entitled to bitch about it because I never did like the heat a lot, but I also don't like the freezing cold either. If it could stay like spring and fall all the time, I would be super happy. Sounds awesome, Greenleaf. That would be great. Demon Bro, knock it off, or I'll give you a timeout. So for anybody who is just coming in, Demon Bro's my son, so he's being a little bit of a instigator. So, but hey Winter, how are you? I don't think I've ever seen you before. Good to see you. Um, actually, Moonspur, I lived in Hawaii. I lived on Maui for a couple years as a teenager. My stepfather at the time owned a couple of businesses out there and moved us out there. And I had some good friends out there. I had some good times, but I wouldn't live there again. I might go visit some of my friends that still, live there, but it wasn't the environment or the climate for me. I definitely empathize with people who experience racism because living in Hawaii as a teenager, I was on that side of things and it was not a good experience. So, um, on the Big Island Moonsprout, awesome. I went over there a couple times. I went kayaking and parasailing and stuff over there and checked out the lava flows with my family, but never spent a lot of time over there. I was more worried about island hopping over to Oahu to see my boyfriend that was in the army at the time. So, um, but awesome. So the teenager just emerged from her cave, so I don't think she knew I was live. So, oh, nice, Scott. So you know the area then? That's awesome. So, what's everybody else drinking tonight, or is it just me? Yeah, Moonsprout, and I don't know if it shows up very well here, but I'm red-haired and blue-eyed and freckle-faced. So, my family actually put me in private school when we moved to Maui, just so I wouldn't get my ass kicked going to public school my first couple weeks anyway. Orange Crush, that's good. Demon Bro, you're always drinking milk, and coffee first. I wouldn't expect anything else besides coffee. Awesome. Carlsberg beer, I don't think I've heard of that one. Carpenter's Blend Moose Run Coffee, awesome. Awesome. Kombucha, nice. And Mountain Dew. Teresa, don't you know that shit'll kill you? I don't think you have to worry about the lower sperm count, but the BVO and that stuff and the yellow dye are awful. But this probably isn't much better. I can't really bitch. I go from coffee to Coke Zero to Gatorade, and once in a while, one or two of these, and that's about it. This one's still pretty full, so he's fine. Yes, I've heard Moose Run coffee is good. I haven't tried it yet, though. A permanent IV. That's great. Green tea. That's good for you. Nice and detoxing and cleansing. And yeah, I know, no diet anything, but with with my weight and stuff right now, like with this back injury and my thyroid issues, my weight has just skyrocketed. I'm the heaviest I've ever been. So I'm trying to cut the calories wherever I can. Obviously, margaritas don't help, but these aren't too bad. I think they're like 110 calories or something like that, but it doesn't say on the can, only on the box, which has been burned, so it's a fresh margarita. He meant I need another one, but I don't need another one right now, so. Hubby's been busy trying to get the house completely ready for demo whenever that's good. Whenever we're cleared by the insurance companies to do that. The only thing is really left to do are to burn box means no calories. Awesome. I like you already. Water and Texas sweet tea. Yeah, I used to love sweet tea, and my husband got me drinking unsweetened, and now I just can't go back. So, but the only things left to do really in the house are to siphon our fuel oil out of the fuel oil tank that's attached to the house and into one that our friend gave us that we would put into the back of our tractor wagon so that we can then haul it away, and then we can disconnect. Yes, you should be making sun tea, Hudson. and then get our fuel oil away, and then we can get the current tank separated and away from the house. And then we have to call the propane company whenever we're done using the hot water in the house, because right now we are still showering in the house. So once we're definitely ready for demo and we're done showering in the house, we'll have the propane company come and disconnect our propane tank and move that back here by the camper so we can use it there. And and then it'll pretty much be ready to cut out. So once that's done, it's all ready to knock over. My husband's been working on getting the woodshed ready to move. That took some digging out and all that stuff. So, okay, so question number 2, if the balloon goes up, how will people dependent on mental medications react without meds? If they haven't prepped for weaning themselves off, meaning they don't have the medication to wean themselves off, and they don't have the protocol written down somewhere on how to wean themselves off, then they're going to be in trouble, and they're probably going to go nuts. And we're going to see a lot of people, kind of unalive themselves because of it, or have hallucinations, or get violent, or have serious depression. The biggest prep you can have medically, the biggest prep you can have medically is having a doctor that understands prepping and agrees with you there. And exactly, Hudson, half will die from withdrawal, the rest psychotic in the streets. But if you have a doctor, and I can say this because I have family members, not immediate family, but I have family members extended that are on psychotic meds and antipsychotic meds. And it will be a lot easier if their doctor understands that this could happen or there could be shortages, and gives them the protocol and the medications that they would need to wean themselves off properly, and then to have already prepped and growing for resupply natural things that can help with those conditions or those symptoms. I'm not a medical doctor, but you need to find a medical doctor that is supportive of that and can help guide you through that. And then, grow, prepare, and stockpile the things that it's going to require. Demon Bro, knock it off. Yeah, coffee. It is easy to worry, but if it's like regular depression meds, there may be some withdrawal and some more serious depression. But if you know what's happening, you can get them on like certain natural remedies or supplements if you have them, and help like crisscross as they're running out, get them on these other things to build up in their system. And then that might help them through that. As far as bipolar meds and schizophrenic meds and things like that, I don't know. I don't know what the replacements are with those because I don't know anybody on those. But there are things like for people with epilepsy and seizures and things like that. There's things like ghost pipe and other herbs and natural remedies that do help those. And do your research. That's why I'm always telling people I'm not a medical professional, but I am becoming proficient for my family. So do your research for your people and your situation, and prep according to what you believe and what you've discovered on your own. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody else's word for it. Do your research and make your decisions, because ultimately we're all responsible for ourselves and for our own families. Nobody else is going to be there to save us. Yes, we have MAGs. Yes, we have support systems, and that's already great. But it's so important to make sure that you're prepared for if those things aren't around, because nobody's going to save you and your family but you. Oh no, coffee. That sucks. Do some research. Yeah, Livingston, man, I love that one, won't you? Yeah, Hudson Valley's been here for a while, Rural. Where have you been? Yeah, it is going to be bad countrywide, and yeah, and just make sure you're ready to defend yourselves, you know, however you're comfortable with, but it's going to be a really shitty situation. Hi, JC Fixer, one of my local peeps. Shalom. Oh, goodness. My husband's being a smartass. I might have to disconnect. So, my family's a bunch of dorks, I swear.
Can I do like this with you?
No, go play with Dad. Stop.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I did hear that, Texas Raider. That's awesome. What's the greatest live stream on a Wednesday? Well, it's got to be a tie between you and Hudson Valley. I don't know. Hudson Valley's definitely got the best theme song on Facebook or on YouTube. That's for sure. Bear Independent.
I'm out of here. There's chicken.
Yeah, but definitely anybody who doesn't watch on Wednesdays, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival is live at 7:30, and Rural 2IC is on live for workshop Wednesdays at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So this is really weird for me. Just so you guys know, it took me a long time before I could even put my face on camera. Just because I'm like not that kind of person. And so for me to go live, that's like really, yeah, if we survive, right? I had a YouTube notification come across my thing right before I went live from the Crisis Report, or maybe it was Prepper Now, same person, different channels. Yes, God's Prepared Warrior, you know, that's a good one too. But Rural, now come on, I've been begging for that song for a ringtone for longer than you even knew about those guys. So, but anyway, so I forgot what I was even
You
saying.
can use an old car horn ringtone. It's really goofy, yeah.
That is goofy, but I'd rather have We All Gonna Die. But yeah, so make sure you check those guys out if you haven't, and you're popping in on here. Yes, everybody in here that has a channel, that, you know, I've known from other live streams. Hi, Papa's Farm. You know, I've subscribed to, and they're all fantastic. I mean, the prepping community, I've said it a million times, really is the best community. And, you know, just the content that everybody puts out is so informative and helpful. And,
Can I do a face with you?
no, you cannot.
We're
So.
gonna give away our address.
Knock it off.
Okay.
So, hey KP, how you doing?
Who's KP?
He's just go. See what I mean? Awesome. Awesome, Merle. Yes, I haven't even seen you. I don't think you have hosted a live yet, have you? Because I have never seen a live come up for a notification for you. Hi, Shorty. Weed eating the yard. Now, KP, are you in a part of Louisiana that has a bunch of gators, or
Sorry.
stay out of the camera range?
Here's how you laugh.
Yes, so I have a strict policy that my kids aren't allowed to show their faces on camera, and he's trying to sneak one by me.
I was
So,
trying to get.
oh, see, I couldn't do the whole gators and snakes thing. I hate reptiles. When I lived in Hawaii, we had iguanas and geckos and giant chameleons, and I hated it. So, yeah, I'm not a reptiles person. I can handle bugs. I mean, bugs and spiders and things like that don't bother me, but snakes, lizards, scorpions, no, thank you. Yes, Texas Raider, I'm definitely very rich.
Yeah, totally.
He was the Rural True IC was the first place I showed my face to, was on a live I did with him. So
We know.
can you please go back inside so I can pay attention to the chat and not worry about what you're doing?
You're dead to me.
I'm dead to you. Okay, I'll remember that. So, Papa's Farm, I will have to subscribe. I don't remember ever seeing you before, so I'll definitely check it out. Exactly, Hudson. Not all families blood. I consider you and Rural and Heaven's Fire and Teresa and JS and Texas Raider and a bunch of you guys families. So, yeah, JC Fixer. I mean, that's one, benefit of where we live, right? Like, our snakes are mostly non-venomous, and once in a while they'll get a, rattlesnake and Vestal somewhere closer to the PA border. But hey, budget preppers. But yeah, I lived in Pennsylvania for a long time where there was a lot of rattlesnakes, and to the point where they had an annual rattlesnake hunt. It was near the Black Shannon State Forest, and that was not a great place. And my grandfather had a story about trying to save a little boy when he was little that had a bunch of copperheads in his coffee can, thinking that they were worms that were biting him, and the little boy died when my grandfather was trying to take him to the hospital. So I don't know if that was bullshit or not, but it was a really sad story, and kind of made us all afraid of snakes. So any other homesteading, prep setting questions? Anyone? Oh, good to know, Hudson. I'll definitely check both those out. I don't know if I can screenshot when I'm live, but maybe you can send those 2 names to me so I don't forget, and I can make sure I don't forget those. Hi, Ed Benoit. Good to see you. What animals do we raise? Well, sorry, I'm like wiping the sweat off. It's absolutely brutal out here. Right now we just have chickens and meat rabbits, and we have some dogs and some cats. Historically, though, we've had obviously chickens, meat rabbits, we've had goats, we've had a mini horse, we've had ducks, turkeys, pigs, beef cows, and dairy cows. So I think the only thing we really haven't had is sheep. And that's something my husband keeps throwing around, but yeah, you've heard dogs don't taste good, but when I lived in Hawaii, there was a big joke that black dogs were a Filipino delicacy, and when you looked around, you never did see a black dog. So I can't personally attest to that, but just saying. Sheep are delicious as long as they're butchered right. I've heard a lot of people say that sheep is too gamey for them and they don't like it. We do not eat the cats and the rats. Knock it off, Demon Bro, or I'm gonna have one of the mods give you a timeout. So the key to making sheep not taste gamey, apparently, is not getting the lanolin from the wool and the skin into the meat. So you need to have like a clean hand or a clean set of hands for the meat, and a dirty set to get that stuff away from the meat before it cross-contaminates. So we have chickens, did have goats and turkeys. I'll tell you what, goats were the devil in that they would not stay in a fence no matter what. And no, Demon Bro, you cannot be a mod. And turkeys were the worst. Like, they were the most violent things. Like, none of us, because we free range all of our birds, and so nobody could leave the house to walk to the barn without some sort of golf club or stick or cane or baseball bat. Not even my husband, because these turkeys would just, like velociraptors, they would, swarm you and attack. So if we do raise turkeys again, they will definitely be in an enclosure. That they're not doing that to us again. Huge black cows are Angus beef, black and white are milking cows, brown cows, beef cows. Most black and white are milk cows, Hudson, but there are white-faced Herefords that are black and white. So you're thinking of the Holsteins; those are definitely milk cows. But a lot of the beef that you get in restaurants are that aren't like the choice cuts, like their burger, and also in grocery stores, like the cheaper cuts of meat are actually retired milk cows. Can you eat any wild rabbit? I remember hearing certain ones you can't eat. And what about wild turkeys? We have a ton around here. Yes, you can definitely eat wild turkeys. Wild rabbits you can eat, but they can't be your exclusive source of protein because they don't have enough fat. And you can actually you can be full on rabbit and still starve to death because there isn't enough fat with wild rabbits. A lot of the gold prospectors actually died that way. But yes, wild turkeys, absolutely, they're delicious. They can be a pain in the ass to pluck. A lot of people just skin them and breast them out. But if you do skin them rather than pluck them, you're not going to want to roast them unless you put like bacon or another kind of fat on them. But wild turkey legs have made the best soup I've ever made in my life. Wild turkey and rice, you can't go wrong with that. What was in the late 80s, Scott? I missed it. So markets for dogs in South Korea. Yeah, and a lot of Asian countries eat dog a lot. When I was an internal fat supply, I eat royal. Well, as long as it lasts, Tuck. I think we're all going to be losing a lot of weight when SHTF. And if you don't lose a lot of weight, then you're going to be a target. So even though you might have a lot of great preps, it's important to ration your family so you guys kind of look like everybody else. Or just don't leave the house and don't go anywhere. Yes, Winter Homestead, I'll be subscribing to you too as well. Demon Bro, you know damn well I'm not vegan. Oh, goodness. Thanks for sharing out everybody's channels, Teresa. I appreciate it. I had a hand fan the other day while we were at our annual co-op picnic. Yes, thank you, Coffee. It's about time somebody else told him that besides me. And I don't think it got unpacked because it would be nice to have that right now because I'm melting. Hey, you know what? He just turned 10 and at least he can spell well. Yeah, battery operated fan would be great. I actually had a couple in the kitchen that were USB rechargeable, and they were always on, like I had like a USB hub and they were always recharging, and they were in the kitchen and my whole kitchen exploded, so I don't have those anymore. Yeah. Yeah, I had like 4 of them, Hudson, and they're all gone. So, plans for future vehicle proofing my home. Yeah, so originally we were going to try to, when we build a new house, we were going to try to move it back further so that there were trees, our trees between the field next door and our house. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen because that would involve even more expense, moving water lines and more septic lines and more site work than, where our house was currently. So, oh, Shorty, that sucks. It's 90 out here and I'm dying, but when I go back into the cabin, it'll be 67. But anyway, so there isn't, but given, my panic attacks and the possibility that, if this happened once, it could happen again. The farmer did agree to put up some concrete barriers in between his field and our property. So I'm thankful for that. I'm just waiting for it to happen. It probably won't happen until after the corn harvest this year. So goodness, that kid. Portable water cooler with ice water. Yeah, definitely. I would love to have 70 degrees with fog and rain right now, Genesis. Hey, Wolfgang, good to see you. Oh, you said Ohio. My son's in the house. Who just, he'll have a field day with that. Oh, yeah, I did see that, Coffee. I just haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, but definitely on my to-do list. Hey, Donnie, good to see you. Glad you made it. Oh, goodness. But I don't know how much longer I can stay on. I don't know how much longer I can stay in this heat, but I'm really really glad that so many people made it in and got the notification. And I feel like you guys are family. I'm always talking to you in everybody else's live streams, so I figured it was about time I did my own. So any other questions before I call it good? I mean, I'm happy to stick around and answer them as long as you guys got stuff you want to know. Yeah, I don't know if I can plan like weekly ones like you and Hudson do, but oh, hey, Michigan Outpost, good to see you. Grab your kayak. What lure should I use for trout? Well, we always liked rooster tails, so I would go that route, rooster tails, or oh, what are they called? I haven't used them in forever because I haven't been fishing since I had the neck surgery last year and everything. Not jitterbugs, but something. Panther martins and rooster tails. Go for it. Thanks God, Prepare Warrior. Rooster tail it is. Good. I can't tell you which color though because I don't know your weather and water conditions right now, so. Oh, goodness. So, time to bail to the AC. I agree, Scott. I'm just dying. And I hear some thunder, so it looks like we're actually going to get famous. What did he say now? I missed it. Yeah, you guys are famous, at least in my eyes. So, my kids hear me talking about you guys all the time, so... But it does sound like we are going to get the storms that they canceled the races for. So it's Valley, not Vanley. And the neighbors are shooting. So that's one of the reasons I love living here. It's like, it's nothing to hear gunshots and stuff like that. It's not like, we hear a couple pop off and you have to duck and cover. It's, hey, Rescue, thank you. It's like, oh, good, they're sighting their guns and awesome. So I think I'm gonna call it good, and I thank everybody for coming. This wasn't as scary as I thought it was gonna be, and I'm glad y'all made it. So I will do this again. I don't know when, but thanks for coming, and don't forget to do your research and prep on.